Welcome to Three Questions with Steve. Three Questions with Steve is a weekly series where we get people's thoughts after a year of pandemic living. Today's guest is Tim Carlisle. Tim Carlisle is currently Program Quality Director in District 4 Toastmasters. And on July 1st, he will become District 4's District Director. When Tim isn't doing Toastmasters, he's serving as president of the Mare Island chapter of the U.S. Submarine Veterans Incorporated. And post-pandemic, Tim will return with his team as a volunteer in the women's pod of the San Francisco jail, teaching communication and leadership skills. Today, Tim is going to answer our three questions to find out how he's doing as we see light at the end of the pandemic tunnel. So Tim, welcome to Three Questions with Steve.
Thank you, Steve. Happy to be here.
Terrific. How are you doing, Tim?
I'm doing well, considering all we've all been through. You know, while we've been in pandemic mode, one of the things I thought would add value is I shared my experience in isolation, having spent 20 years on nuclear submarines. And I helped others cope with their challenges. I also spent a year working as a disaster service worker in the Bayview Hunters Point neighborhood. I met some wonderful people, and we did all we could to help lift up that underserved community. And of course, there's always adjusting to the new virtual world we have that is Toastmasters.
So what have you learned over the course of the past year?
And Steve, this is a great question with many different facets. On a personal level, I attended Oxford University's Executive Leadership Program, which was a leadership game changer for me. This program gave me both the tools and the understanding to truly lead an organization based on the knowledge from the class and my classmates. Professionally, as well as in Toastmasters, I believe the pandemic helped all of us gain extra wisdom, resilience, and mettle in everything that we do. I've never been somebody to sit on the sidelines. In Toastmasters, I developed 26 2 to 3 minute how-to explainer videos on the Pathways program, our online educational program. That led to developing an additional 26 2 to 3 minute explainer videos for some friends that were training district leaders, as well as some international training videos as well. Since this isn't really my chosen field, I work in cybersecurity, it seemed very therapeutic to me. And I think that we all need an outlet like this in our daily lives. It restores our mind, our ability to function, and the soul. These are things I learned while deployed in the submarine service. Find something you enjoy, and it helps increase your mental toughness.
Great. Now, what action steps are you taking with you as we move forward?
Great question, Steve. You know, I have always had compassion for other people and never had as much for my own self. I took a series of classes on self-compassion, and I'm so glad that I did. I have really undergone a significant amount of transformation with regards to myself and my life to prepare me for the year ahead. I've found it amazing how one hand can wash the other. Some of the skills I learned in Toastmasters benefit me with the submarine veterans and vice versa. While my submarine service has been a major impact on my life, all of the learning and growing I have done has also provided tremendous benefits to me as I move into the district director role.
Very good. So there you have it. Tim's told us how he feels, what he's learned, and what action steps he's taking with us post-pandemic. Tim, tell us a little bit about what you're doing with Toastmasters, with the U.S. submarine veterans, and with the San Francisco County Jail.
Thank you, Steve. Happy to do so. In Toastmasters, I explained some of these pathways and other videos I produced. I put all the materials together, did the research, but what I didn't realize is that companies actually pay about $5,000 a piece for a 2 to 3 minute explainer video. So between District 4 Toastmasters and Toastmasters International, I basically donated about $250,000 worth of videos. With the submarine veterans, I'm very proud of my team there. We have about 160 people on the team total. And I fortunately was able to write up awards for many of them at that are what they call a National Commanders Award. And I was also grateful because someone wrote one up for me as well. We also received the award called a Golden Anchor, which is for large chapter awards. Now realize our chapter is about 160 people. They have chapters as large as 1,100. And for us to win that award in a pandemic with all that was going on, we moved that organization to Zoom, and I was a big player in that. And I think that the learning that was gained out of that was tremendous on all fronts. They also have parliamentary procedure used in that association as well. And my skills in Toastmasters and belonging to Point of Order Toastmasters, as well as my home club, Plain Talk Toastmasters at SFO, have been really instrumental in assisting other people. Now, you asked me about the San Francisco jail, and I want to answer that. Pre-pandemic, one of the things that we all did was we worked in the San Francisco jail as part of a group with a gentleman by the name of Ed Cressy. And what we did there was we would go in and work with the ladies that were incarcerated and just help them build some leadership and communication skills. And you have to get screened for this. There's a complete process. But the best part of it is the first week I went in, I just told the story of my life with a couple other people. The second week and the third week, I was by myself because people were traveling to the East Coast. I went in, I'd had a tough week. My dog had been mauled, my car had been totaled. And what I asked these ladies, they said, this is what's happened to me this week. But it's not what happens to you, it's what you do with what's happened to you. And I'd like to ask you, what are some of the challenges that you face? And as I understand it, for the first time in history, every one of those ladies stood up and told me what their challenges were. I was so inspired. The next week I came back and asked, you all inspired me so much. I want to know who inspires you. Second week, every one of those ladies stood up and told me. Some it was their grandmother, their kids, their parents. And, we developed a real amazing connection. And after that meeting, of course, the rest of the crew comes back. And the first thing after we finish the meeting, what the heck did you do, Tim? And that connection and bond will still be there. There are women that have been in that women's pod for 3 or 4 years. And some of them leave, some of them go elsewhere. But in the end, we're really helping people that need the communication and leadership skills almost more than anyone else in my way of thinking.
Well, thank you so much, Tim. So to all of you listening and watching, how are you doing? What have you learned? What are you taking with you post-pandemic? Please leave your comments in the comments section. And while you're at it, please like, share, and subscribe so this conversation will go far and wide, and we'll find that shining needle of common ground in that haystack of fear.